The story of the Washington Commanders has, for decades, been one of missteps, controversy, and endless heartbreak. They were the team NFL fans could count on for chaos, the punchline to a bad joke, a franchise so mired in dysfunction that its own loyal supporters often braced for disaster before the season even began. But in 2024, something extraordinary happened. The Commanders, once the definition of a hopeless case, roared to a 12-5 record, marched into the NFC Championship Game, and became a team no one wanted to face. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a fluke. It was the result of a single, seismic decision that sent shockwaves through the entire organization and changed the course of their history. And to understand just how miraculous this transformation was, we have to go back to the years when Washington's football team was a masterclass in how to destroy potential. The descent began in 1999, when Dan Snyder took control of the franchise. At first, there was hope. New ownership always brings the dream of change. But Snyder's reign would quickly prove to be one of the most turbulent in NFL history. Just months into his tenure, Snyder gutted the staff, cutting 25 employees and destabilizing the very systems that had kept the team afloat. Longtime general manager Charlie Casarli walked away rather than accept a diminished role, a move that signaled the start of a complete cultural upheaval. Snyder wanted results fast, and he wanted them flashy. The 2000 offseason was his first major statement. Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, Jeff George. Big names, big money, big headlines. The kind of splashy moves that grab attention but rarely build a foundation. The excitement lasted until the games began. When reality set in, the team still couldn't win when it mattered. This cycle became the Snyder Blueprint. Chase stars, ignore cohesion, and hope talent alone would paper over the cracks. But the cracks kept widening. The most infamous misstep came in 2009, when Washington handed Albert Haynesworth a then-record $100 million guarantee, the largest ever for a defensive player. It was supposed to be a statement signing. Instead, it became a cautionary tale marked by conditioning issues, clashes with coaches, and a swift trade just 2 years later. Off the field, Snyder's decisions were just as destructive. In 2008, the team sued season ticket holders who could no longer pay, including a 72-year-old grandmother. The lawsuits turned public sentiment into outright disgust, painting the franchise as cruel and out of touch. Years later, the Washington Post would reveal damning evidence of a toxic workplace culture. With allegations of intimidation, harassment, and systemic abuse under Snyder's leadership, the team's reputation hit rock bottom. The NFL took notice. The fans, once among the most loyal in football, began to drift away. By the time Snyder finally sold the franchise in 2023, the Commanders had spent 2 decades as a cautionary tale. In sports mismanagement, weren't just losing on the field, they were losing their identity. The sale to a group led by Josh Harris brought cautious optimism, but there was no guarantee this new leadership could undo years of damage. The scars ran deep. The habits were entrenched. And in the NFL, culture doesn't change overnight. Except, in Washington, it did. From the moment Josh Harris took the reins, there was a clear and deliberate plan. This wasn't going to be another empty marketing campaign or a cosmetic rebrand. Harris understood that for the Commanders to rise, the change had to start at the top. His first move was decisive. Hire Adam Peters as general manager. Peters had built his reputation in San Francisco as a patient, disciplined team architect. He wasn't interested in splashy moves for headlines. He built winners from the ground up. Soon after came Dan Quinn as head coach, fresh from his success. As defensive coordinator in Dallas, Quinn was the opposite of the paranoid, closed-off leadership of the past. He preached collaboration. He led with energy, humor, and clarity. The mood shifted almost instantly. Meetings became places where ideas were shared instead of dictated. Communication flowed. Accountability became more than just a buzzword. Then came Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator, a move, signaling a modern, aggressive approach to offense, one tailored for today's NFL. But the defining moment, the choice that would come. To symbolize this new era happened in April 2024, with the second overall pick in the NFL Draft. Washington selected quarterback Jayden Daniels. It was bold, it was risky, it was exactly what the franchise needed. Daniels arrived as a Heisman Trophy winner with electric athleticism and unshakable poise. He wasn't just another rookie quarterback, he was the kind of player you could build an entire identity around. From day one, the Commanders made it clear, Daniels was the centerpiece. Marcus Mariota was brought in as backup, a mentor, and safety net, but there would be no long, drawn-out quarterback competition. Daniels was the guy. Training camp revealed something rare. Daniels didn't just impress with highlight plays, he impressed with decisions. He took smart checkdowns when nothing was open, kept drives alive with his legs without taking unnecessary hits, stayed calm under pressure, winning over veterans who had seen too many quarterbacks buckle in this city. Peters and Harris added more leadership to the roster, signing Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz, battle-tested veterans who would set the tone in the locker room. Still, there was skepticism. Could a rookie quarterback really turn around a franchise this broken? Could new leadership erase years of dysfunction in a single season? As the summer gave way to fall, the answers began to emerge. Daniels played with maturity beyond his years. The offense, guided by Kingsbury, leaned into his strengths rollouts, quick reads, and plays designed to punish over-aggressive defenses. The defense, led by new coordinator Joe Witt Jr., became disciplined and opportunistic. And slowly, the Commanders started winning games they used to lose. The turning point came in Week 8 against the Chicago Bears, down by 5 points with seconds on the clock. Daniels launched a desperate heave into the end zone. In the chaos of bodies, Noah Brown came down with the ball. The play would be dubbed the Hail Maryland, and it wasn't just a win, it was a declaration. Washington was no longer a pushover. They were a threat. It wasn't all smooth sailing. The season began with a humbling 38-20 loss to the Buccaneers. A reminder that change doesn't erase challenges. Daniels had his growing pains, throwing costly interceptions and struggling against complex blitz packages. But the difference was in the response. Under Quinn's leadership, there was no panic, no finger-pointing. Just correction, adjustment. In progress, by mid-season, the Commanders were playing like a team with an identity. They became masters of the close game, winning 6 times on their final play, testament to preparation and belief. Daniels broke the NFL record for offensive yards by a rookie quarterback, earning Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. Terry McLaurin shattered the franchise record with 13 touchdown catches. The defense held its own in the clutch. Washington finished 12-5, their best season since 1991, and returned to the playoffs for the first time in nearly 2 decades. But success brings new challenges. In 2025, the league will be ready for Jayden Daniels. Defensive coordinators will spend the offseason dissecting every rollout, every improvisation, every tell in his game. The tricks that worked as a rookie won't catch defenses by surprise again. The Commanders also thrived on razor-thin margins, converting 20 of 23 fourth-down attempts in 2024. It's the best rate in the league for teams with at least 15 tries. That level of efficiency is almost impossible to repeat, and even a small drop-off could swing multiple games in the wrong direction. The front office knows this. That's why Peters made aggressive off-season moves, trading for wide receiver Deebo Samuel and left tackle Laramie Tunsil. Samuel's yards after catch ability gives Daniels a lethal weapon. Tunsil's elite pass protection should buy him the extra seconds he needs. But both acquisitions carry risks. Samuel has an injury history. Tunsil's durability will be tested against elite pass rushers. The margin for error will be thin. Off the field, there's more work to be done. The NFL's 2024 report card gave Washington's locker room an F grade, reminder that a cultural turnaround isn't complete without investment in infrastructure. Harris and his group will need to match their on-field vision with off-field resources to keep players bought in. Dan Quinn, now regarded as one of the most respected coaches in the league, will face his hardest test yet, leading a team that is no longer the hunter, but the hunted. Veterans like Wagner and McLaurin will be critical in steadying a young roster under the weight of expectation. The 2025 season will determine whether this was the beginning of a dynasty, or just a thrilling one-year miracle. From lawsuits and scandal to playoff victories and national respect, the Washington Commanders' transformation is one of the most dramatic in modern sports. Their formula was simple on paper but rare in practice. New ownership with vision, a front office with discipline, a head coach with leadership, and a quarterback with the talent and composure to unify a franchise. Jaden Daniels didn't just win games, he gave the team its soul back. So we ask you, will 2025 cement the Commanders' rise as the NFL's next powerhouse? Or will they fall back to earth under the weight of expectation?
Let us know what you
think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you